how it looks, everyone. I am back. Let me... Why isn't the chat starting back up? Yeah, it's real laggy right now. We will be here. Oh, I seen that. Why is it showing it to me like it's the first time? Are we still here? Is it the same? I'm just checking something. Oh, okay. It's the same, so I didn't lose you guys. So how does it look? Is it still laggy? It looks fine now. I think I just needed to restart my computer. I'm moving my hands to check the frame rate. Okay. It looks fine now. What about on your guys' end? Thanks for being so patient with me during my technical difficulties. So, I know a little bit about technology, but I got boomer status tech skills sometimes. Looks fine now? Awesome. Yay! That makes me happy. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn it around. I finished my tea while I was waiting for the computer to restart. It wasn't exactly the sipping calm moment I would have liked, but it was getting cold. I had to chug it. I was like, eh. Oh, here are my markers. I love my cart so much. Oh, I love it so much. Like, it's not even a, you know, it's just a white cart, but like, I love having this stuff so handy right here off to the side. Like, oh, it's so nice. So nice. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in here. So I haven't used this yet, so I'm gonna test it over here on my palette first. Haven't even read the instructions, actually, to be honest. I need a trash can right here too. That would be smart. Okay. Especially when I'm streaming, you know, so I don't have to go off stream. Marks on anything, water-based. Shake several times, press tip down for a while, recap the pen. Okay. Looks easy enough. Let's see. Hopefully it don't fail. I forgot to see if I could have recorded. I can start right now, actually. I'm gonna try to do a time-lapsed video. So let's see if this works. Hopefully it doesn't. Yo, hey, welcome back, Allie. Thank you so much. So, hopefully it looks great. Cervantes said it looks great on his end. Okay, I'm just making sure I was on the right side. So I got these acrylic paints now, paint pens. So I'm gonna test it out on my palette here to see how it applies to the glass, so I am prepared and don't totally screw this up. Oh, it's nice, just like a marker. Okay, cool. Exciting. Hey! Oh, there we go, wrong side. All right, let's get started. I can move the glass around too, like, I remember in school they'd be like, toy! Silly things we said when we were little. Hey Cervantes, I forgot to tell you this morning because everything was so crazy. Killshot Kitty, J Muse is actually playing with her now, like multiple rounds of Fortnite. Like, how freaking awesome is that? I was so excited for her. It's like, how cool. Like a dream come true for her, because that's like her idol. Yeah, right? Oh, like, that's crazy. What are the chances? Oh, I wonder if there's fine point markers of these, because they're a tad bit thick for this really smaller line work here. It's making me a little bit nervous. I should have told him I'd make this for his birthday. I didn't think about it. That way, give me some time to do this. I don't think quickly though. I have good ideas that just come too late. Sounds like a chill guy. Yeah, right? And they're playing multiple rounds last night? Like, that's crazy. Like, even playing one round with her, you know? Like, that's unreal. Like, I've been trying to sit here and think about, like, what would that would equate to me, you know? Like, I don't really, like, follow anybody that closely like that, like to say they're my idol. Like, I don't know. Wait a second, that's a lie. Frida Kahlo. So if she was still alive, that'd be like, hey, like, come over to my house and let's drink some tea and paint. I'd be like, no way. The camera needs to move down. I know what it is. See if that helps. It's trying to focus on the paint bucket that was there. Oh no. Oh no. I gotta find the lines where I was drawing over. I just saw in my peripheral vision that there was chat going on, so I checked it. You're talking about my phone camera, right? Not the Logitech one. Oh, and you're saying because it's not in view? I keep forgetting that I move this stuff really close to me when I work. Okay, there, I solved it. I solved the problem, I think. Let me know if it's working. I think I got it. Oh, I almost missed one. There we go. Okay, let's get started. Cervantes, does it look better now? Is it to your liking, sir? Okay, so while I wait for the chat, it's not auto-focusing. Oh, okay, that's good. It was because it was trying to focus on what was closest to the camera. That's why. I've been sounding really Squidwardy lately. I think my allergies are acting up because I've been having like a lot of drainage and stuff. Gross. But I notice I've been very nasally, so I am well aware. Let's see, black and white. Alright, let me go back to the image. So technically, I could have filled in all the hair black. Let's wait for that to dry and I'll do that because I don't know why I made things more difficult. And these colors will be easy to make, so I think I'll try to finish this one on stream as well. Okay. Let's see if it's dry. They dried pretty quickly. Oops. Well, that gave me a moment to see I missed some spots. It has a different sheen to it. I can see like where I put the paint. Let's chat while I clean it up on the back side so that I can see properly and more accurately. Cervantes, you know, I was thinking about, and I've been thinking about, how I used to write poetry in high school, and I could combine that with artwork, though, too, like, things people would like, I don't know, motivational stuff, uplifting things, like short poems, like a haiku, sort of. Thought about doing like graphic stuff for that, but I thought it'd be cool glass art too. Have the lettering on top and like the background, but it would be like a really subtle. Oh, gross. Ooh, that acrylic is like, I'm gonna have to go back over it. It's just as bad as a dang marker. Ew, and it's all dirty now. I need to throw that to the side. Ew. Okay, let me get something else to clean it. Another clean rag. Ew. I hate the filling. Oh, so gross. Ew. I don't like the way cotton feels at all, especially tearing it apart. It's so gross. I know I've said that before, like I can't stand it. I should have used, I had scissors here. I could use the scissors next time to cut it. Don't mind me. Should probably clean off my fingers so I don't smudge it with the ink. Or get new gloves. Why am I like this? Why am I so messy? So much for the whiteboard. This used to be a whiteboard. I multi-purposed it. It's a desk slash workstation, whatever. It works, but now it's no good as a whiteboard. I mean, that's why I used it, because it was already junky. It got messed up. I've had it for like, jeez, like 6-7 years. I bought it for my son when he was little. And I made a desk out of, like, I used it as a desktop for him, but he could draw because he loved to draw. And we go through so much art supplies, so I'd get him a whiteboard so he could just draw and doodle as much as he wanted to. But then he used it, my daughters used it, it's been well loved, and it was so cheap. I got this at like Lowe's or Home Depot, and it's not called whiteboard, it's called something else, I don't remember, but I had found it off of Pinterest. Like somebody was like, oh, a great cheap whiteboard, and I actually had got one for when I was teaching. So So my son used it and my daughters used it, and it was like, it only cost me like $13, something like that. It was so cheap, whereas like a big whiteboard like this would run you like $100 back then. So it was a steal. I think so. The head part was pretty filled in. I can't remember which side I painted on. I think it's this one. The original stuff I did up here has been pretty filled in, and then as I got down here it got thinner, but I forgot to reapply the ink to the felt tip. This is the first time I've ever used something like this for art, so I did not know and did not think about that. So I'll have to keep that in mind as I go back over this. 'Cause I want the lines to be nice and solid. I did not do the right side, right? I didn't. Oh, I did. I'm like never sure of myself or my choices or anything. Someone tell me. I wish I had better vision. I could just see from the desk. It's okay though. I could just use my iPad and you guys can see that I'm looking here. I'll just have to switch back and forth. That's looking better. Alright. After this dries, I should have waited. I didn't, like, I don't use my brain sometimes. I just thought about it. So, like, I need to fill in the black parts. I should have. I could flip it. It's not a big deal. There are solutions. Anyways, because I have to fill in the black parts of the hair. I'm going to try to make a TikTok Cervantes after I do this, since I will be recording anyway, you know, instead of waiting. Get it done. Allie, do you have a TikTok? I don't think I ever asked you that. Oh, speaking in related, it's ropey. It's ropey. It's too thick. That's all thick, boy. Yes, you have a TikTok? I'll add you. I was reading about like growth on Twitch, and that was like a really big suggestion. To get on other platforms to bring people to your Twitch, because if you don't, it's going to be hard to grow. Because I was like, why, you know, am I not growing? I don't know. So advice for anybody who wants to grow their channel. I've been trying to research that, and that's what they said. I don't know. Let's see how true it is. So I'm going to try to be more active on TikTok. Learn how to use it. Have difficulty. It's a lot of editing involved, and I was like not prepared. Yeah, that's what Allie, that's what I was just talking about. I'm bad at making them. Yes, I am on there all the time to like consume other content, but creating it, I have not. So it's so hard. I feel I get overwhelmed and I don't even want to try. I feel like and so I've asked my son. I have to like maybe sit down with him after I make one of them today and like ask for his help. He has more followers than I do, and so he kind of knows what he's doing. So funny. I would have no idea how to use TikTok or what it was if it wasn't for my son. I love it though. Oh, thanks, Allie. Oh, that'll help me. That'll help me find you too, so I'll just follow you back. Thanks, buddy. Okay, so I'm gonna edit the photo to turn it around. That way I can paint in his hair. So next time, instead of doing the marker lines to save time, I'm just gonna invert it and then draw on the other side. The reason I did it the way I did it right now is because I wasn't sure how that marker was gonna behave. But it's been a good boy, so I gendered my marker as a he. Let's see. Let's flip this. How can I flip it? I've never used this besides cropping. Oh boy. What do I do? Edit actions? No. Is it down here? That's just... Oh, there it is. There we go. So I'm gonna... The chat's not going to be up for a minute while I color in his hair, but I will talk to you guys and check the chat in just a minute. Oh, it's so off. What the heck? Well, improvise, adapt theme of these past 2 years, this year and new year. Adaptation. How well can we adapt to the environment around us to survive? It's just like really sneaker pimpy. The music, sneaker pimps. I don't know if I just aged myself. It's like a really like art school nerd thing to listen to back in the day. Up the chat back up. Okay, let's see. I gotta fix the hair part because I forgot to reload my paint pen here. I wish wish I could listen to my real music I listen to. I'd be vibing hard. And I love that I have my window open right here. The natural light comes in. So beautiful. I love outside as I am inside. That'd be so cool if I like did art outside. Be a whole moment. It's a little cold outside right now. But then I'd be like, in a couple months I would be like, it's too hot to go outside. Okay. I think I got it. So, what am I doing? That's... It's going to be so entertaining today. Excuse me. You guys just saw my birthmark. Fun fact, there's my birthmark. Okay. Let me move that off to the side. Get my palette. I should have cleaned it too. I waited so long for it to dry, like way longer than necessary. Oh, I didn't think about, can I do the multi? I cannot, I just can switch in between. Alright, so I am going to do the eyes. I don't even think I need to put any on the palette for this. Okay, this picture is actually a little bit different because there's a lot smaller shading and detail, so I'm going to have to think about that, keep that in mind as I'm applying the paint. I'm even thinking about applying the paint on top. We'll see. I don't know how this is going to work out now. That was just something I just now thought of. Hold on. Miss warm weather and going outside. Yeah, you know, like I love the cool weather too. It's just like sometimes it gets a little too cold to be outside. And I want to just enjoy my time, you know? Yeah. Yeah, see? I can't wait for my allergies to clear up because it's kind of funny. Remember to glob it on. And I'm going to get as close as I can to the edge too so that I don't have to go back and redo anything because that's a pain. Hopefully this doesn't take too long, but there's like some logistical things with applying the order to apply the paint I'm a little scared of, but I think I'll be okay. I love to roller skate and can't in the winter where I live. Oh yeah, I forgot about where you live. Yeah. Is it snowing right now? Okay, so I did the eyes. I think for this I'll do the black on the hair. And then the face. So that's the order. It's a little different for this picture. That was always my argument too. When I was working as an art teacher, they used to try to invalidate art and be like, oh, there's nothing that can be applied from other subjects. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's science, it's math, it's English, you know? in English in that it's about interpretation. I wrote a lot of art criticism, so much metaphor, analogies, it's heavily rooted. And like I always wanted to work with the English teachers and they would never respond to me. And I was used to, when we were in high school, all the teachers worked together and had a good rapport, and like I missed that, and I wanted that with my colleagues, and it never happened. So it was a little disappointing. Because we would all used to work together. Like, there would be a theme for the year, and all the teachers would be in on the theme, and so everything would relate to one another, and you'd learn even more because it was applied in so many different areas. Whereas when I was teaching, they just kind of all did whatever they wanted. There was no cohesiveness, and so I think it's better to learn in a thematic way like that. But they don't give teachers a lot of autonomy anymore, so that is one reason among many why I left the profession. Ooh, we don't get snow much here, Allie, so I'm so happy when it's kind of snowed here. It snowed in Scottsdale, which is a little further north of us. It has a higher elevation, but it's very close. It's like 30 minutes away, something like that. Did I just totally forget this other ear? And oh my gosh, I'm glad I did this right now. Man, I really can't see. That's so sad. Okay, let's fix this really quick. Alright, I think I got it all. Did I? I think so. Okay. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, but it snowed here a little bit, so I got excited, but I wanted to see it. Experience it. I did one time when we went to California, but it wasn't actually snowing at the time. The snow was already melting, so it was like cool, but like not the total experience, So I'm trying my best to accurately fill this in. Hold on. Let me move back to chat because I cannot see that far. Thank you, Allie. Yes, it is. Yeah, I took as many as I could, and then senior year, I actually kind of regret it a little bit. I left school before lunchtime so that I could go work, but I could have took a lot more art classes because I was basically done with school. Like I took all my credits and I was like just there because I needed to be there. So I ended up getting off to go to work. But I could have took advantage because I wanted to do like medals. We had medals there too. I taught at my old high school, so that was like a really fun experience. I really miss it. I do. I don't miss the politics behind teaching and the colleagues that didn't make it so nice to work there. But I miss the kids, connecting with the kids. I miss the experience that I used to have there, and I think that's why it was hard for me when I stopped teaching, because it was like things weren't how they were before, and it was kind of sad. But anyways, I didn't take ceramics. I wanted to take ceramics. I wanted to take metals. What other art class did I not take? I didn't take drawing and painting in high school. I was taking a lot of photography and digital art, where we started using Photoshop for like the first time. But yeah, we were really fortunate because we went to a school. It's called a magnet school, so that was like basically like a mini college, more or less. And they focus on different areas. Like the school I worked with, they're still well known for their aerospace program, so kids can get their pilot's license before, like one of my friends, he got his pilot's license before he got his actual license to drive. That's kind of weird, but good for him. Like, not weird for that he got it, it's just weird that you can get a pilot's license before you can get a driver's license. Sometimes it's kind of like, but they had that, and they had dance, and theater, and art, communications, and a law, also for their law program. So we were really lucky at the time when we went to school. It was like the height where they would get funding for the arts, and the school got really funded well. So I had a great experience with school in general, but not socially. I wish I would have had the like sense of self I have now in high school. I feel like I would have had a much nicer time. I really struggled. But as far as the learning part, like, I love school so much. I loved school. I don't know about now, but I love learning. I don't know about you guys, how you guys feel about school, but I've always loved to learn. I love knowing things. Like, I don't like to not know things. And so, like, I did have a really good vocabulary. And so I think, like, I attribute that to, like, yeah, we were in school and we had to do, like, definitions all the time and learn new words, but also when teachers or people would use words I didn't know, I'd have a notebook and I'd write down the word as best as I knew how to spell it. And I also, like, went into the spelling bee, so I was, like, really good at just, like, hearing the word and being able to spell it. So I would write it down, and then I would go later into the dictionary, look up the meaning of the word, and try to use it once that day, or try to use it for a while. And that's how I, like, learned new words and like added more words to my vocabulary quiver. But I got made fun of a lot because I used to go to school on two different parts of town. I used to go to school on the north side of town, which speaks a little differently, and then I would go to school over here on the south side of town, which they speak differently. And so I'd get made fun of no matter where I went. I never really fit in anywhere, but when I'd come back onto this side of town, I'd get really made fun of. So I stopped using my vocabulary and kind of hid it, because I didn't want to be made fun of more than I already was up north, because I was a different color, because I didn't have a lot of money, you know, so I got made fun of a lot and got bullied a ton more up there than I did down here. It was more, I didn't really get bullied down on the south side, but like, it was more like they made fun of me because I was different. It wasn't like they didn't talk to me, but they'd be like, I don't know if this is going to offend anyone. I don't mean to offend. It's just retelling what people are telling me. They'd be like, you talk white. Why do you talk like that? You know? So I was like, oh, okay. And so I didn't talk for a while because I didn't know how to not speak in the way that I talk. Like, this is just the way that I talk. And like, I was around all kinds of different people when I was younger too. So there's that. Anyways, cool story about my life. Just a part of it. And it's funny, because I was talking to some other girls, other gamer girls, or whatever you want to call them. What people prefer. Where was I going with this? Oh, that stuff is like really trendy now that we used to get made fun of when we were little and bullied for. Like playing video games or like liking certain things, and like now it's so okay to be yourself in every way, and I've never felt so free in my life. Like kids today are so lucky. Like they have no idea, and they're able to be who they are freely without judgment, or without as much judgment as there was before, and like acceptance amongst their peers for everything, to be whoever they feel like they need to be and express themselves however they want to express themselves. Like I can't imagine how freeing and liberating that must feel, and like they take that. I don't know if they realize how special that really is, because not too long ago we couldn't. Might have to use a toothpick to get really close. Sorry, I don't know if I got too deep there, but I like to talk about mental health stuff too on here, and sometimes I don't get the chance to talk about that. Plus, I'm trying to be more vulnerable with people. I tend to overshare, but that's okay. That's how you get to know people too. Like I was a little too closed off before, and so I had a hard time making friends because I just didn't want to get hurt, or also didn't know how to connect to people. And I'm trying now. This is actually like last year I started to make a lot of friends, which is scary for me because I've never had a lot of friends before, or a lot, like many, if any. I would have like one friend. I'm trying new things, trying to be brave. So I started streaming, get out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna check the chat. It's been a minute. High school kids are so mean. Yes. Oh, you were Shrek in the musical high school? Oh, in the musical in high school. Oh, that's so cool. I love learning too. School had too much homework for me though. Yeah, I didn't understand homework because I understood the concepts in class, and I was like, I mean, yeah, I got it for practice, but it was like the schoolwork was practice, because it like the seat work. Like I learned when I watched the lectures or whatever, and then we did the seat work, and I'm like, okay, I get this. Can we move on now? I was so bored. I was so bored in high school, and so we had this one teacher. She gave us this like huge packet of work, and here, it's nice to talk to you guys too, sorry. She gave us a huge packet of work for the entire semester, and we finished it in like a week, and she was so mad at us. She was like, that was supposed to be for the whole school year, and I'm like, I'm sorry, this wasn't even hard. You literally had to just fill in the blank stuff from the textbook. Like, we just went to a page and filled in the blank from the sentence. Like, there was no critical thinking. It wasn't like, I didn't learn anything in that class either. And that's why. But it was so easy. Sorry, give me 1 second. I need to put my feet up. School was too easy. High school at least was, not college. College was a whole nother level, and I think it was so difficult because they did not prepare us for college at all. Our vocabulary, critical thinking, being independent, like nothing. We were not prepared. At least I wasn't. That high school sounds awesome. It was. It used to be. Teachers that had worked there for decades left because of how dramatic it changed, and it wasn't the same anymore. Let's see, I'm gonna go back up because I think I didn't see a lot of your stuff, Allie. The last art class you took was in 7th grade, none in high school at all? Oh no! I have a lot of artists in my family, so I've always wanted to explore my artistic side more. Do it! You can do it! Remember, anyone can paint. I love learning too. School had too much homework. Oh yeah, we talked about that. I was in Shrek. That's so cool. So you were a theater nerd. I used to hang out with them. We'd all hang out by the auditorium and play hacky sack and stuff. It was so fun. I love, you know what? Like, it was so funny. I would hang out with the theater kids in the morning, but then at lunch I wouldn't. Like, I just kind of try to hang out with everybody, and I think I was trying to find my place. I didn't know where I belong, and I still kind of feel that way. I feel like I don't fit in anywhere, so it's kind of hard to find my place. I don't know. So awful when you need to assimilate to other kids. At least I felt like, yes. So also I didn't know, as two of my children have autism, so I learned a lot about it, and there's this thing called masking. But also I didn't realize people with ADHD also mask. So you kind of absorb or take on the personality of the people around you, so that you'll feel accepted or more comfortable. Not really comfortable though, because it was like a hassle, but I still kind of do that, and I'm trying to find myself without the pressures of other people. So it's scary and exciting, but yeah, I do that a lot. I used to do that a lot, I'd like hang out with different kids to just feel where I fit in, and I kind of like never fit in with anybody besides the art kids. But yeah, I never felt more excited. Even though like in college when I was taking classes, I didn't feel like I exactly fit in with them either, because I think I was at a different point in my life as well. Like I was married early, and like in a really committed relationship, and like more serious, and everybody wanted to party and drink and stuff, and I was like a really homebody, and just because that's how I always was, I've been really shy and like introverted, and I don't think I'm introverted anymore because I've been making the effort to be more extroverted. But yeah, it's still like, it's getting easier for me, but it was so hard to make friends because I was not sure of myself and like so insecure a lot. My high school was super duper PWI, and I was one of the few. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Yep, I feel ya. I never had a lot of friends either. I'm so glad we are friends though, Gaming Mama. Yes, I do too. Hey Cheese, please. Sorry about that. I was scrolling down making sure I was like addressing all the chat. How are you? Thank you so much for having me, or having me into your space. Oops. So I'm going to go back to my reference image to help me paint on top of it, because I did some weird stuff I'm having trouble seeing where I applied the black paint. So I want to do it as accurately because I already messed up a little bit. I shouldn't say messed up. I changed the direction I was going. I gotta use my art skills. I meant to do this. This was totally intentional. And so it's funny, being raised the way I did, which is great. Like, I'm not knocking it or anything, but it was like, I don't know, at least there was this things, I don't know if I was taught it or things I just internalized as a kid. It was like, don't speak unless you're spoken to. Parts of my family raised me that way. Don't speak unless you're spoken to. Only answer what's asked of you. So like streaming has been really difficult because I'm having to fill in the dead silence with words, and that's not how I was taught to speak, or I'm being told I spoke too much when I did talk. So I'm always like insecure about how much I'm speaking. Am I saying too much? Am I talking too much? I don't want to be annoying. Like nobody's asking me, so don't say anything. But I know on Twitch, like you have to talk a lot too. So like that goes back to getting out of my comfort zone. Trying to be, more confident or whatever. Let me open up the chat because I see. Oh, thank you. Going around saying hi. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I do the same. Thank you so much. Allie, I wasn't totally a theater kid, but I was really involved in orchestra. Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out, Cheese, please. Girl, yes, I feel you. I was just diagnosed with ADHD last year, and it all makes sense. Yes. Allie. So now that you're talking about that, I learned so much on TikTok, by the way. So if you ever want to feel seen, TikTok is where it's at, the mental health TikTok space. They're talking about making autism a subset of autism because the experiences are so close. They are like almost identical in terms of socially, like masking. I don't know if you struggle with noise sensitivity, but I get really overwhelmed quickly, like super quick. Like I know that it's not the norm, or neurotypicals don't behave that way. I can't be around a lot of noise. Even like if the kid's running around and there's too many, like if more than one set or group of noises is really anxiety inducing to me. Like I have a lot of social anxiety being around people. I'm visually overstimulated a lot. So the grocery store, especially big box grocery stores, are so overwhelming because it's like lots of people, lots of things, everything's so close to look. It's like I feel really claustrophobic and I get stressed out easily, and plus I feel like it's hard to find things too, like, and my sense of direction gets really thrown off. Like I still, like I know which way is right and left, but when I get lost easily, like walking, driving, I forget like which direction do I need to go again, especially at night, so bad. What other like ADHD stuff? It's like crazy. That's like very similar. I don't know, all the like special interest stuff, just socially, it's just very similar, and it makes so much sense. And the fact that I don't think people who are bipolar or have anxiety or depression can say they're neurodivergent. I think only autism and ADHD, if I'm wrong, I apologize. ADHD and autism, you say you're neurodivergent. Because your brain, it's not like a thing, it's just your brain's wired differently. I don't know if that was the thing. But there was just so much, like, having children that are on the spectrum too made me feel like, well, am I on the spectrum too? But then also, like, I didn't realize how closely ADHD is related, and I was told when I was first initially diagnosed by a neurologist, it was like a special neurologist for diagnosing psychological disorders, said I had the worst ADHD he had ever seen, and even laughed about it. It was so insensitive, and I was like, wanted to cry. Because I had an answer, because I knew I was struggling the whole time I was in school, and I had told my parents, like, I need help, I'm having a hard time. But people, like, and this is a part of the ADHD part too, there was like this thing on TikTok, and the parents show you your degree and everything, but look, you're getting good grades and you got this degree, and it's like, yeah. And I was struggling and miserable and having mental breakdowns in between quietly while nobody was looking in my room. Just to perform and be a perfectionist, and you know what I mean, do all that stuff. I had so many freaking mental breakdowns in college. It's not even funny. Like, I tried so hard, and oh my gosh, I took a philosophy class and I could not understand it. I couldn't wrap my head around any of it. So I failed that class, and that was the first time I've ever failed a class, and I was so discouraged, and I was out of town away from my parents, and it was rough. It was really rough, and I was used to like having my hand held a lot, everywhere, and so going to college was really rough. Check chat again. Yeah, it's crazy. Cheese, please. How beholden you are to the opinion of one doctor if you only see one. Yeah, ADHD and autism have a lot of overlapping characteristics. Yes, they do. Yeah, I actually tried to, because I still think I still, you know, and my therapist, like I went to a few years ago, said, yeah, I think you might be on the spectrum. Let's talk some more. And then, so I bring it up again, and they're like, well, I don't think you have it because you make eye contact. That's because I was forced to. I can barely make it with the camera. It's really uncomfortable to me, so I like develop tricks, and so I didn't actually make eye contact. I look at their nose, or I look at the top of their head, or kind of like off to the side, but like direct eye contact makes me so nervous and scared and uncomfortable. And I think it's because, like, too, I feel like I consider myself an empath, so like if I'm directly looking into somebody's eyes, I can read them even more and feel even more, and it's really uncomfortable because I can already feel everybody else's energy in the room and like trying to regulate my own, and it's like so overwhelming and overstimulating. And that's what people are like, it's a huge misunderstanding that people on the spectrum have no empathy. They're like, it's the opposite. They have way more empathy than most people, and it's overwhelming. So they're trying to just regulate their own emotions to function in their environment, which I really feel that. It's so hard, and you have to work so much harder just to do and be or present as a neurotypical person. It gets exhausting. And that's what people were saying. I was reading too in TikTok and hearing about that people on the spectrum and people with ADHD get a lot of burnout from being social because you're having to mask for so long, and it's extra work, and it's so hard. So it's nice to like feel yourself amongst people and not have to mask, because I actually like get really weird, and I've been trying not to be like that in social media or in my stream. Because I got made fun of a lot for being weird. But I think it's actually a good thing, and I'm trying to convince myself it's a good thing and be not afraid to be myself. But it's been coming out more, my personality. So stay tuned. No, I have totally questioned if I'm on the spectrum. I would definitely, if you're concerned or think that you could get some support, reach out. And then too, they were like, oh, you made it this long. What is the diagnosis going to do? I'm like, confirmation. And because I've had such a hard time working, like work history, because of being overwhelmed or things not being very clear and me not knowing how to ask the right questions, honestly, I've had a really hard time working, like my whole life. I would jump from job to job, and it wasn't until I got teaching that I stayed. That was the longest job I had ever had. But yeah. So that I could get disability. I'm trying, that's why I'm trying to do this. Like, I'm trying to see, I don't want to rely on the system if I don't need to. But also, I also need to provide for my family, and I cannot do that, so I need disability, like not just for mental health concerns, because I also have CPTSD, so that's fun. I have lots and lots of things going on. That's why I'm like a huge mental health advocate, because you don't know what people are going through. But on top of that, like all my medical stuff, like lupus and POTS and stuff, I just really can't work, and I wish I could. So I'm trying to do this to hopefully eventually make partner and generate some more income to help out, because I feel like I'm a burden sometimes, and I don't want to feel like that. I know, and my loved ones say I'm not, but I still feel like I am, because I'm so used to being independent in a way and self-sufficient. And so this has been really hard. Like that's what I was talking about in therapy the other day. Because I'm having to ask for a lot more help from people around me. And it's been really hard because I don't like to ask for help. I'm usually the helper. I like helping. And so me having asked for help has been really rough. But I'll get through it. You know? Like, oh, poor me. You know, I don't want to be like that. So I don't want to talk about it too much, but at the same time it's important because people feel alone or I don't know, this might help somebody talking about it. Helps me talk about it actually, because I don't like having secrets. It makes me so anxious to have secrets. So I joke and like to say I like to spill my own tea before anybody else does. So that's why I overshare. Yeah, I changed what I was painting because I was gonna do something my nephew sent me and it was a little too ambitious. I'm not totally comfortable doing that yet. It was like really complicated. I think once I do some more glass art, I can probably make him another one. But right now, I cannot. Okay, I'm just trying to see where I need to fill it in. It got really confusing because there's like dark gray and light gray and like I'm having a hard time seeing the color differentiation. I'm sure if I turned up my brightness. Ali said, autism has different levels, correct? That's a new thing. Yeah, when my son got diagnosed, there was no levels. They actually diagnosed him high functioning or like with, I don't know how to say it. I always say it kind of funny. Asperger's. I try not to say Asperger's. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how else to say it properly. It's so embarrassing. I have trouble pronouncing stuff sometimes because I have like kind of a speech thing going on. Apparently I had no idea I had. But they diagnosed him with that. So that's where I think too, where I'm at. I think especially for girls and women with ADHD or on the spectrum is underdiagnosed or disregarded. Yes, because that's why they said women mask more, or like a lot of the symptoms are associated with being more feminine, like quiet and shy and withdrawn or whatever. Like, oh, I'm so meek. And it's like, no, we're freaking anxious like the whole time. So we shut down and overwhelmed, at least for me. Yeah, but it also like having that sense too, then I get really self-conscious at the same time, like, oh, people aren't going to talk to me because I said I think I'm on the spectrum, or they think I'm on the spectrum, or because I have ADHD, or because this or that. Like, who cares? Like, why do I keep worrying about what other people think? Like, yeah, people aren't going to like me, but there's also people who are going to like me with being who I am and me not having to change to get people to like me. I think the combination of being bullied and having those masking feelings, what was I gonna say? Don't help. Like with your sense of self, like trying to find yourself. And my dad always used to tell me, just be who you are, just be yourself. Like and I didn't understand what he meant. I'm like, I am myself. In high school, I'd get so moody and mad. I'm like, what are you talking about? I am myself, Dad. You know? But he saw through it. He knew I was masking. I had no idea. I was doing it. I didn't know what it was at the time. We didn't have a lot of internet back then. We didn't really use internet too much. So I didn't know. I had no idea what was going on. I just felt weird and out of place and like I didn't belong. And I still kind of feel that way, except when I'm on TikTok. And so I developed an unhealthy love for TikTok because I feel so seen and safe there. And I feel like I fit in somewhere and belong somewhere. And it's funny because it's like I guess apparently that's also like a PTSD symptom. I just got diagnosed with PTSD last year during the pandemic. I had no idea I had it, but once I started researching more and like seeing stuff on TikTok, I realized, oh my gosh, my whole life I've had this. And I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought. Anyway. So that's why I'm a big mental health advocate. Normalize seeking help for mental health. And all that stuff. I'm trying to figure out where I messed up. I'm gonna have to use a tiny paintbrush for some of this. I think I got all the hair parts. I'm gonna make sure I'm globbing it on here. Hold on. There's parts I need to keep referencing before I bring the chat back up. This is a good talk, guys. This is kind of like what I wanted. I wanted to do art and just chat about this stuff. Like, yeah, talking about like random stuff's nice too, but this is what's important to me. Because it's important to like heal too, so that you can be happy and like physically heal from things, emotionally. Because there's lots of hurt people walking around in the world, and I think it'd be a much better place if we all started healing from the inside. You know, our soul, our emotional well-being needs to be healed, our mental well-being needs to be healed before we can fully love each other, and that's what we need right now, lots and lots of love. So I try to spread that on social media, I try to spread that on Twitch. I mean, I have to really get on TikTok because this is a space for this. Like, if you're not feeling seen or loved or accepted, like, this is the place for you. I'll see you, I'll love you, I'll accept you. I'm trying to pack on the paint, but at the same time, there's areas. There are areas that are really small and are going to be difficult to pack the paint on without compromising areas of the painting. So I'm going to go back to the chat now. When I was diagnosed with ADHD and told people around me about it, they were all like, no, you don't. Wow, that's so rude. That's so rude. That's how I felt when I got diagnosed with it wasn't the mental health stuff. I feel like telling people that my therapist thinks I may be on the spectrum. They just kind of look at me like confused. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep this stuff to myself, and especially because I have children that are on the spectrum, it's like, okay, you probably think you guys all have autism or whatever, and it's like, yeah, because it's hereditary sometimes, and I think in our case it is. But anyway, with lupus, people are like, you don't have lupus, but you're so young, blah 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 blah, or you look fine. It's like, it's an invisible chronic disease. Just because you don't see anything, my doctors know what's going on, and you cannot see what's going on inside my body. You don't know, you know. So it's kind of like so frustrating to feel I don't want to use my word of the year, but it's kind of gaslighting in a way, you know, and then you don't feel validated as a human being because they tell you those things. Then you question yourself too, right? Do I? Maybe they're lying, blah, 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 you know. I'm going to talk to my therapist about this next time I see her. Thanks. Yes, gaming. I was going to call you gaming mama, Allie. Sorry. Yes. I want, yes, because somebody was asking me to, as actually a student I used to teach, and now we're friends on Instagram, asked me about ADHD too. She was like, I think I have ADHD, and how can you help me? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, I'm not a therapist, but I love that I can help people and like help to steer them in the direction of help or feeling like, hey, I'm seen, and this is what I think it is, and I'm going to go get help, and it's okay. Like, yeah, you know, get a cut, you get a band-aid, or break your finger, you go to the doctor. Like, why can't we, if we don't feel well emotionally or mentally, go to the doctor and that be fine? Like, why is it stigmatized? It's so silly. But then it's okay to use drugs and alcohol. People use that to self-medicate, like, um, oh my gosh, it's a deep dark secret coming out. I used to be an alcoholic for a really long time. And then it wasn't until I got diagnosed with PTSD and realized I was like self-medicating and trying to calm myself down, and use that to relax. That helped me. So I've been sober for a while now. It's been nice and still rough because it's not like that ever goes away. Those feelings, but at least I recognize what I was doing now and recognize, hey, I'm feeling this way. It's dangerous. Do not go down that road, because I would overindulge to kind of like numb all my feelings and relax, because I was always, and I didn't realize it until I was, why did my music stop? Anyways, I didn't realize, uh, I don't know where I was going with that. I just like my thought went poof. I didn't hear the music anymore, and my thought process was gone. I don't remember. Anyways, let's go back. Yes, we are conditioned to mask since childhood. Yes. And I feel bad. Now I'm a 35-year-old woman who's doing all the things I wanted to do, like the younger self did. But it's fine. Like, yeah, it's a little scary because I feel like I get judgment. Like, nobody said anything, but I still internalize all the judgment that I've never heard. Like, that's silly. Like, nobody said anything, so why do I feel like people are judging me? It's like always like, oh, they're talking about me behind my back. Like, I used to do that all the time. People would look at me in public and I'm like, oh, they're saying something ugly or negative about me, or they talk about the way I look. Like, I was so paranoid about the way people talked about me, like, all the time. Let's see. Yay! I'm glad we connected, Allie. I'm so glad. I wonder what happened to the music. It's supposed to be 3 hours of. Oh, it's 11:23. Okay. Am I gonna finish this? I had a nice time chatting. I think I should like even. I already. I thought I was gonna finish this on stream. I should already know. Like, I cannot finish one piece of artwork on stream. But I was trying to, because I was trying to record my time lapse video here. But I might have to get off soon anyways. If I sit up too long, I get really lightheaded, and then I do this like weird thing, so I'm not sighing, I'm having trouble breathing, so I'll start doing this like and when I do that, it means I need to lay down. So that's unfortunate. I'm having that feeling. Oh, the doctor, that's where I was going with my thought earlier. One of my doctors was like, you look very tense. I'm like, what are you talking about? I feel fine. And she's telling me, pay attention to your body. She's like, your shoulders are up to your ears and you're shaking. So my flight or fight response was on the whole time I was alive, basically, the whole entire time. So it was always really shaky and nervous and scared and sweaty and heart racing and body tense. And I'd get a lot of migraines. Um, I had no idea that I was doing that until I got diagnosed with PTSD. And so I had to keep telling myself now, relax my body, connect with my breath, repeat to myself, I'm calm, I'm safe, I'm okay, and that helps a lot. Okay, I'm going to have to fill in that little spot right there. That's weird. The thickness of that marker posed a issue. Should I just finish the hair and call it? Because I'm getting kind of feeling funky. I think I'll finish the hair. I'll do the gray since I have this blackout and I don't want to waste the paint. Trying to do zero waste here. It's really hard. I like realize how much trash I throw out too, and I'm trying so hard not to. But like a lot of things have wrappers, like for kids and stuff. I eat fruit. I eat a lot of fruit, and cheese, and I haven't had any nuts in a while. I should probably have some. I just thought about that. Oh my gosh, since we're on all the topic of like ADHD and stuff, Allie, um, I found some stuff and people were like, oh, what it's like in an ADHD brain. And there's like all this noise and people chattering and like they were saying, oh, I'm me just trying to like think, and there's all this noise around and you can't focus or concentrate. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea what that was. Like, I just thought I had a hard time focusing. And I remember this one time in high school, it was actually quiet. It wasn't even that loud now that I remember. And we were taking a test in chemistry, I believe it was. There's the music. Anyways, we were taking a test in chemistry and I could hear people clicking and tapping, and so I didn't know this other thing I have that's related to these things. It's a part of synesthesia, but like hearing certain noises like incites rage for no reason in me. Like repetitive noises, like chewing chips is the worst. Package opening, heavy breathing, controller tapping, pen clicking, I said that already, just noises like that, or even visually, like if somebody's doing a lot of repetitive things, like if to see other people stimming makes me anxious because a lot of it's repetitive, like people pacing, it makes me anxious. It's so, like, everything makes me anxious. I wish it didn't. I really wish it didn't. I don't wish that on anybody, like feeling anxious all the time just because people are merely existing and I'm like, how dare you eat near me? But I can eat and make all the noise I want. Like, I can hear myself though. I'm starting to get to the point where I can hear myself eating and it's annoying to me too. And I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I need to hear the TV. Something else needs to be on to like cancel out that noise. And it's weird too. Like, if I'm eating and somebody else is eating next to me, it's fine. Like, it doesn't bother me. It's so weird. I forgot what the word is called where you don't like noise, like certain noises, and you get enraged or disgusted by them. And like, try to be the nicest person, and so when those things happen, I get really ugly and like want to like punch people in the face or like yell or scream, like the feeling, and it's like I feel guilty because it's just an automatic like physical response to what I'm hearing. But I say it's related to synesthesia because I can feel sound, so it's very similar. Like music makes me feel a certain way, but apparently that's very common with autistic people. And I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm using the right language too. I'm working on that. People with autism, I don't know what's the right word to say for that. But anyways, in ADHD, they have that music that you put on, you're supposed to listen to with headphones, and it makes you feel a certain way, and it does. Like, I get body tingles and warm and like calm, like I was saying in one of my earlier streams, like this one artist, her name's Snow Allegra, and there's a couple of songs. It's like my literal happy place I go to. Like warm sun, cool breeze in nature, wet, like not wet, but like fresh grass, the soft one, not the scratchy grass. Next to a stream, a soft stream. That's my happy place. But when I listen to her music, that's exactly where I go and what I feel and experience when I listen to her music. Yes, it is important. You do, Allie? Cervantes, you feel attacked? I'm so sorry. And I feel bad, like I'm so mean to him. Sometimes he's like, sorry, I'm breathing, I'll go breathe somewhere else. And he's joking, but I feel terrible. I feel like a terrible person, and I know it's not okay. But I know. And besides wearing headphones all the time, I don't know what to do about that. In fact, I'm going to ask my therapist or my psychiatrist that does my med management about that if there's anything, but literally it's all self-soothing kind of stuff, like headphones all the time. I cannot sit in the same room as my dad eating. It makes, yes, Allie, for no reason, right? And you're disgusted, like hate, anger, like, ugh. I'm sorry, yes. Misophonia, yes, that's what it is, Allie. See? So it's very common, and I thought it was like, I'm like, oh, you know, maybe I'm making this stuff up. There's all these things that are going on with me mentally, you know, like what's going on? Like, how am I making this stuff up? Realizing it's all related to autism and ADHD, like bipolar disorder, anxiety, all of that too. It's comorbid, so meaning that like you can have it as well, and it's common. I felt so seen. I love freaking TikTok. Like, it's amazing for that. If you get into those spaces, there's some really scary spaces in TikTok too. I try to avoid. How funny. I'm glad. There's a lot of people in my family who have that too. Like, cannot stand to hear it. So having said that, going to a movie theater, oh, it was the worst for me. Like, I hated going to the movies. I hated it. And so when people would crunch their popcorn during like a quiet spot in the movie, oh my gosh, opening their packages, drinking the rest of the bottom of their drink, I'd be like, there's no more soda left. But that's like partly why too I'm trying so hard to be a kind person and like making my channel all about being kind, because I struggle with that sometimes. I really do. Like, I feel like two different people sometimes, like this peaceful hippie love and light and everything, and then I'm like, I hate all people, you know. But it happens, like, it's so weird. I feel like I'm literally two people sometimes. But also that goes back to what I like to say is we're not finite beings, and we're all on some sort of identity spectrum, and we're allowed to shift and fluctuate on that spectrum of identities. And the idea of identity has really been important to me. It was like a big thing of my artwork in college. A lot of the classes I took in college, because I was really struggling with identity. But knowing or thinking about it that way, that we don't have to fit into a box and that we're finite and can be whoever we want, is more liberating. So like my style to the way I dress or aesthetic changes like a lot. I can be like wearing cute loungewear from Shein or whatever, or look like an e-girl the next, or be like, I don't know, I have uwu girl parts in me, you know, I don't know. I can be everything and all of it at any point in time, and that's okay. Who says we have to stick to one thing? We do what makes you happy. Some days I feel like wearing all black and being dark, and some days I like wearing pastel and being super, you know, soft. Like a soft girl. Yeah, so I like flip between being a soft girl even though I'm like 35. Feels so cringy even trying to call it something. Soft girl, e-girl, any day, you know. Insta-thoughty at home. That language is harmful, but I don't know what's the word I would say. You know, just different things. I can be really reserved one day, really outgoing the next. It just depends on the vibe for the day, like, you know. Yeah. Thanks, Allie. Let me make this gray now before I keep talking. Oh, I keep kicking my... Sorry about all that shaking. It's an earthquake. Oh no. Just kidding. I think that's why I get along with my kids for the most part, and other children because of that. Kids aren't really judgmental, and they're silly and free, and I don't know. I feel like more myself. It's okay to be silly and make weird noises and like cartoons. I really like cartoons. I like a lot of like kid stuff because it's comforting to me. I don't know. I'd have to talk about that later. Therapists said it's fine. Everything's fine. It's normal. But I feel like I need validation. Like, oh, what do I like? Why do I like cartoons still? I'm a grown woman. I shouldn't like that stuff. Like, I love Pixar. I love Pixar. And why should I feel bad about liking those things? Like, people are unhappy, and a lot of it's like, oh, I can't be who I am, or I don't. A lot of it was like inner child stuff. People have neglected their inner child and think that they need to behave a certain way because they're a certain age. Like, who cares? Just be yourself. If that makes you happy, do it. Like, I liked plushies, and like a lot of the time, like I would get stuff for my kids I actually wanted for myself. And then the therapist was like, it's completely normal to have those things. In fact, with PTSD, it's recommended for comfort. And to help self-regulate. And I was like, oh, okay. I needed validation. I need people to tell me it's okay. And I still as an adult feel that, and I don't know why I'm like this, but accepted validation, like, hey, I'm okay, I'm socially acceptable, but like I shouldn't have to need that. I should just do it without the validation and be okay. And if people don't like it, And I had a friend that said something really important and poignant and life-changing to me, and I will be grateful for that. They said, if I don't like you, excuse me, I'm going to cuss for a minute. He said, if I don't like you, you could just tell me to fuck off and I'll leave. He's like, don't change for anybody, for friends, for anybody. And it'll be okay. Don't change for anybody. You be yourself. Like, who am I to just tell you what to do with yourself? And I was like, wow, I never thought about it like that. Because I was like, oh, I want everybody to like me, and I have to take on all this personality to get people to like me. I'm going to make this a little lighter. I'm taking some artistic, I don't know what's the word. I lost my train of thought, but yeah, that's what I was talking about. Anyways, I've been talking a lot today, sorry. Obviously this stuff is very important to me. Identity in general, especially when you're in a space where a lot of people are struggling with it, helps me feel more comfortable to talk about it. I think I should let that dry before I add this. I'm gonna mix up some more since I'm gonna finish the hair and stop, and then I'll do some more tomorrow. Hopefully I can finish it tomorrow. The smaller parts were hard. Okay. So there's that. This was a good chat. I mean, like, I'm on just chatting anyway. And I've been trying to make it a point to talk more to you guys, because I feel like I really struggle with having conversations too. Like, I'm gonna be transparent about that. Like, I have a really hard time carrying on a conversation. Also too, because I don't want to ask too many questions and seem like I'm prying or be nosy, because sometimes I could do that. I tend to do that. So, actually, I'm going to put it on chat and hydrate. Depends on the vibes. Yeah. Artistic liberties. Thank you, Cervantes. Yes, I was taking artistic liberties. I couldn't think of the word. My brain fog is real today. It's been every day. It was fine though. I've been distracted. Earlier when I was looking off to the side here, there was like a little thing floating in the sky, so I got like off track. My train of thought got split. because I saw something. I was like, ooh, squirrel! So yeah, and then people were like, oh, when you say you have ADHD too, they're like, oh, you're not hyper, and it's like, my brain is. That whole, I don't know if you go through this, Allie, but like, thinking, like, I didn't realize this till Cervantes was telling me, hey, you go from one topic to another, you jump from one topic to another, and it doesn't make sense to the people who are listening. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I don't understand. What do you mean? Like, I'm talking. Like, are you not listening? And he's like, no. And he'll tell me, like, oh, you talked about this, and then you said this. And I'm like, but you didn't see how I got there? So what's happening, and I didn't realize was it also an ADHD thing, it's like what I like to call pinball, like thoughts. So it's like you're making connections super quick in your brain, and so you just like jump to another thing. Oh, this made me think about this and this and this and this and this. It's like a pathway or like a pinball machine, like how you got to your final thought. And you're expecting people to follow you in that train of thought, and like I don't know how else to talk. Because then I try not to speak too much too, because I'm told I talk too much, or I was told I talk too much. So I try to leave out all that extra information and get to the main points and leave out the details, but people need those details to get to the main points. So it's kind of hard, and I tend to I feel like I overwhelm people when I start talking about things I really do like, because it's like I'm quiet a lot, and then it's things that my special interests, which are like medical things, by the way. I wanted to be a doctor, but I became an artist too, so that's for another day. I get really excited about something, I'll talk about it a lot and overwhelm people because I'll just keep talking, and then I like basically save up all my words and I'm quiet, and when there's something I need to say, I word vomit and tend to like overwhelm people. So I am trying to work on that. It's really hard. You tell stories out of order. I have a hard time putting my thoughts into words. Yes. So like I kind of like Instagram for that, because I can edit and take time to think about what I'm going to say and how I want to sound and like really curate myself. Whereas on stream, there's a lot of like those awkward moments where I'm trying to edit myself live, mentally and verbally. And it's like, or you guys could see those bad angles, or if I'm a little moody that day. Whereas Instagram, I don't show that, like, hey, I want to be a moody brat today, I don't show that, like. Sorry for that, we were just talking about misophonia, and I forgot to mute my mic as I was drinking. Sorry. Like in work meetings, I will talk and keep going and forget why I was, like I was doing to you earlier. I'm like, I'm just rambling now. What am I saying? And then you get embarrassed and you're like, you're rambling. What were you talking about? They're not listening anymore. You're talking too much. Be quiet. Yes. Yes. Oh, it's so nice to feel seen, right? So I'm gonna, it was nice talking to you guys today. I like doing this. Maybe like on Fridays it will be more chatting. Fridays or Saturdays, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I want to schedule out my content, because I kind of don't have plans. I just do what I feel like doing. Like, okay, I really like doing glass art right now, so I'm gonna do that. I go hard on things I like for a while, and then they fizzle out, so I probably find a new hobby, artwork, in a bit. But however, I do really like this, because it's not too super complicated, and the results are nice, from what I've seen. Yeah, so I really struggle to work because of all those things. I'd be late to meetings, forget about meetings or appointments. Oh, I have a hard time. Me and time do not mesh well. Like, that's why I'm usually like not super on time to streams, and I'm trying hard I'm trying really hard to do that because I like to be professional too and keep my word, because that's also how I was taught. Like, you say you're going to do something, you do it. So I really struggle with that. It kind of gives me guilt sometimes too, though, because I like, oh, I can't do this. I overcommitted. And I don't want to let people down. Let's see, like oh yeah, you said that. I want to make sure I was talking to you and addressing your points in chat. Cervantes, I don't think. Do you deal with any of that? Are you comfortable discussing any of this? Like, but you don't have ADHD, so I think a lot of this stuff's ADHD based. He never had to struggle. Everything was so easy for him. Must be nice. It helps that he's more logical too and not so emotional. Like, I'm becoming more of a logical person now as I'm getting older and like learning things. But yeah, I'm sure that helps because my emotions get in the way a lot. I get overwhelmed super easily, and he's like way more patient than I am. Ooh, no! I don't know if I've ever been patient. I've just been better at hiding it, I guess. I'm gonna have to scratch that off with the toothpick when it dries. Oh god, did I do this wrong? Looks kind of weird. Okay. I'm still learning. I don't expect to be perfect the first time I do stuff. I mean, I kind of do. Who am I kidding? I actually do expect me to be perfect every single time I do anything. And if it's not perfect, I throw a big baby fit. It's not right. It's not what I wanted it to look like. Part of this black's still wet too, so I'm trying to apply the other paint, and I know this is a bad idea. Well, hopefully he doesn't look at it like, ugh, what is this? What is this you're giving me? Because kids are very, like, you can tell what they think. They wear everything on their face too. They don't even have to say anything. They'd be like, ugh, you know? Kids are funny. They're brutally honest. I love it. Sometimes. Almost out of paint. I thought I made just enough. Let's see. Someone on stream asked me what my schedule was, and I was like, whenever I feel like it. Yeah, so like I'm trying to grow my channel even more, like I said, so like I can actually like make a living off of it. I'm putting that into the universe. I will make enough to make a living on stream. So I've been researching a lot how to grow the channel, and so people were like, oh, have a consistent streaming schedule. And I was like, oh, okay. And especially with kids, it's so hard because you don't know what it's going to be like that day. Are they going to feel like screaming? behind? Or are they going to be sick? Do they need a lot of help with their homework that day? Like, are they going to be really tired and grumpy? Or, you know what I mean? It's so hard to, like, schedule my time. And you're working, too, so I cannot imagine, like, this time seems to be working the most for us. Like, it's been the best option. So I think I'm gonna stick with that, but yeah, it was really hard. Smaller brush. Really hard, like, deciding on a streaming schedule, because it would just be like whenever I wanted to hop on, but it's kind of like a television program, right? Like, or television show, whatever. Yeah, like regularly scheduled programming. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I'm trying. And then too, like, I'm not good with schedules or time, like I said, so it's been kind of rough. I have to flip it around. So much for the big reveal, if you guys seen it. It's not like anything special anyways, it's kind of messed up. I'm like, eh. I'm just learning, it's okay. This is fine, this is fine. The therapist didn't like that I made a joke about that. He's like concerned. He wrote in his little notebook. I'm like, oh, making jokes is not okay, apparently, about this. So how are you doing? I said, you know, like the dog in the fire. Let's see, where's the... I don't know which color went where. The heck? Okay, that's skin. I'm just making sure what was skin and what was hair. Anyway. I work so slow. I only got the hair and like the eyes and the outline in 2 hours. Like, what am I doing with my life? Anyways. Using humor to reduce the seriousness of things is apparently frowned upon in therapy. Anyways, it was a nice talk, you guys. So it's kind of weird looking. That's what it looks like so far. The eye looks weird. I gotta have to like go on top of it and clean up the lines with the acrylic paint or something. Like, I have no idea what happened there. Like, why is it all smoochy like that? Oh, wait. I should put it down flat so you guys could see, huh? On stream, it doesn't look too bad. In person, up close, I could see where I messed up, and it bothers me. But, yes. So I'm gonna clean it up tomorrow and finish it up. I think I'll pre-mix my colors, and then I'll just start laying them on. The glass art looks really great so far. Oh, thanks, Allie. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't get to finish on stream, guys, but I had a really great time chatting with you, and I also have trouble multitasking. So it's like either I really work and focus on the artwork, or I split my time up between chat and art and just not finish on stream that day. Which I think I will be doing, because the whole reason behind this too wasn't just to show off and do stuff on stream, because that actually makes me really nervous. I like connecting with you guys and talking about mental health, so it's kind of like a therapy session in a way, even though I'm not a licensed therapist, or like talking to a friend and we're just hanging out while I paint. Like, literally, that's what I wanted it to be like. Or like, you know how Bob Ross kind of was like really soothing and did artwork, but he would like talk to you about stuff and then kind of like make those analogies in art to like emotional health and mental health in a way. At least to me, that's how I saw it. It's kind of like I wanted to be the female Bob Ross. That's a lot to promise to people. But that's the type of stream that I wanted and the vibe I was going for. So in case anybody's watching was wondering, that's what I was trying to do. And just create a safe space for everybody and connect, because I really love connecting with people. So thanks so much. I'll show you guys one last thing. Like when it dries, I can use the toothpick on the other side and just etch it off, the part that went outside the outline. So tomorrow I'll do that, and that'll give me some time to look at a background to do, because I'm going to do something similar but not with and I forgot to put the tape along the edges, so I didn't cut my finger. That's funny. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, what I did with the Sailor Moon one. How I did the watercolor in the background. I think I'm going to use alcohol ink or something more vibrant that goes with that theme. Like maybe the like on the background, do like the yellow or whatever. Like he's going Super Saiyan. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see where I'm going with that. I'm not quite sure yet. Ooh, I like how this is textured. Sorry. The wrapper this came in is like really cool feeling. I was gonna throw it away and I picked it up. I'm like, ooh, I like the way this feels. Okay. Anyways, I had a great time chatting with you guys today. And I had so my plan is to do for next time I move my mouse over there because I wasn't paying attention. But I had the mouse here, so I was going to end my stream. That way I didn't have to get up off my chair and you guys see my face up close. But anyways, come back tomorrow. Same time. I can't wait to chat with you guys again and finish this. It's so exciting. I love that we had a nice chat, Allie. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.